Let me see. Oh man, how you doing, Amber?
I am great. How are you? Let me take this earplugs off here. I like with all things with tech, right? There's always some
Right,
type of issue.
right. We had to overcome with the growth mindset, huh?
Right, right. Using our mindset skills right now.
Right, exactly. I appreciate you. You doing all right today?
I am. I'm doing very well. How are you today, Jordan?
Man, I can't complain. It's a big day for us, so I'm feeling good, you know?
Awesome.
Well, I appreciate you joining us. Thank you to everybody who is joining the chat right now. We're super excited. As I said, I'm the social coordinator at Generation USA. I'm joined by Amber Bacon, an alumni of our IT support program, who has since gone on to become a cloud engineer fellow at Google. As I said, we'll be speaking about her experience, the benefits of the program, and why this work continues to be important for our students. If you have any questions in the chat, please drop them and feel free to support our work this Giving Tuesday at usa.generation.org/Generation Giving Tuesday. All that introduction to be said is Amber. Obviously, I know who you are. I've been following you for a long time. We talk all the time online, on social media. But for
Mhm.
those who do not know you, can you give a little bit of background about your experience, what you were doing prior to Generation, and what prompted you to transition to tech?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am also an athlete. So I played college basketball. You might not have known that,
I
Jordan.
did not know that.
I'm surprising you too. And so I went to college from 2004 to 2008. And when I graduated in 2008, I graduated with a degree in public relations with a minor in sociology. So if anybody knows anything about 2008, probably not the best time to graduate. Probably wasn't the best time to do a lot of things. And so I really jumped into the job market head first, and I realized that things had changed. Technology really took a foothold into society in 2008. And, you know, where they had like sales and marketing and public relations and all these different categories, those were non-existent. It was really the rise of social media and technology that kind of took over. But I remember thinking like, maybe I should go back to school and maybe further my education in computer science. But I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, you know, like I hadn't even used the degree that I had already had. And I didn't want to go back into debt, you know? I mean, it's a big commitment to do a degree for 4 years and a monetary commitment. So I decided, okay, let me just table this for a little bit. So I kind of went from job to job for a bit, but then I got into sales and I built a successful career in sales. And it wasn't until probably about fast forward into 2020 that when it was right before COVID hit, my life kind of like, as all of us have been transitioning probably in the last year or so, kind of found myself back at a blank slate in life. And I said, you know, I don't know that this opportunity is going to come again. So I need to make my pivot and my transition into what I feel passionate about. And that passion had always been people and technology.
So that's interesting. So you're saying that after COVID, you're looking for a transition. There's a lot of fields in tech. You know, there's cloud, there's Java, there's web development. What was it about IT support that intrigued you to explore it as a career? And like, what were those defining moments like where you're like, you know what, I'm going to pursue this field a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. So I think it was because I know myself, right? So I am very much a foundational person. And I'm really like, I guess coming from sports too, I'm really into fundamentals.
Mm.
So in order for me to feel like I needed to be successful and could dive really deep into technology, I needed to know, I had some questions, you know, like, what is a computer? Like, how does this operate? Like, okay, now that I know that, like, what is the internet? And like, how does that even work? You know? And so there were so many questions that I had that how can I really dive into tech if I'm not really sure about the basics? So I decided, let me start at the bottom And then my curiosity will get piqued in other areas, or I'll really know what I want to go into, but I wanted to focus on the infrastructure.
Nice. And so I guess, um, what was that like coming into Generation with no prior experience? You're saying you started at the bottom. Like, what was that experience like? Like, how did the program emphasize your growth and like help you build those skills?
Yeah, so I came with zero tech. Like, this is the type of tech experience I had, right? My mom's calling me, hey, the remote doesn't work, you know? So I'm just pushing a bunch of buttons and trying to figure it out. So I was nervous about, like, you know, where am I in comparison to some of the other students? Like, where do I need to be? So I really just like, I gave myself like this reprieve. Like, it's okay, Amber. You're coming from a space where you knew a lot, where you were a manager and you were able to like train other people. And now you're going back to a space where you're the learner, you're
Yeah.
the person being trained. And I gave myself that compassion while I went through the process. And Generation really like hold your hand. Like, they're not expecting you to come into the program knowing all of these things. And with IT support, when you get in there, they're going to teach you everything from like the baseline basics.
Yeah.
So like, I remember when you go to Best Buy and you're like, you know, you ask the sales associate, hey, I'm looking for a laptop. And they start asking you what type of RAM, what type of storage. And you're just like, what?
Me.
I don't know. I just need to be able to write a paper.
Right.
Play some games, right? So they teach you all of the basics so that you can understand it in a way that, you know, can translate into your career and into your regular life.
Yeah. You know, you said something that I found was interesting. I kind of want to ask you about it. You know, right now we always talk about success stories. Oh, you know, people see you as Amber, the Google Cloud Fellow, but if you could, like, what were some of your jobs prior to Generation? Like, you know, like give like a list of three, just so we can see, like, you know, how you don't have to have one background just to be here.
Just three, Jordan? Come on.
Like, I had three last year.
Did you hear me when I said 2008 was rough? No. So
You were working.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I have been a bartender.
Okay.
I have been a DoorDash driver. I have been a car salesperson. I've been a sales manager. I don't know if I said security officer. Oh my gosh, I've done so many things in my life.
Well, I guess that's the moral of the story, right? Like, you don't have to have the same background. You can have any background and still find a role in tech, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, you actually tweeted something that I found very fascinating, and I actually wrote it down for this Instagram live. You once tweeted that now you're in tech, you quote unquote see the massive opportunities for Black developers, and I found that very interesting. Like, can you talk a little bit more about this and what opportunities you see available in this field?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very passionate about this as well.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that I myself got into tech. So just from being in tech, to kind of give you guys a little bit of background, like, there's a couple of things happening right now. There's a diversity drive, and then there's also like a technology drive, like a demand, really. And businesses are having to do what they call digital transformation. They're having to restructure how they've always done things. They're taking legacy systems, which means like old, outdated Windows 7, you know, kind of system, and they're moving to the cloud.
Yeah.
But in the other aspect of diversity, they're looking for diverse employees that they can upskill in, that have the skills to help them while they make this digital transformation. So this is the best time, if ever, to get involved in tech. I mean, we all can see it. There's a massive demand for people that want remote jobs.
Right.
There's a massive demand in technology, and we see that growing every day with stuff like metaverse and all this virtual reality.
Yeah.
But they're going to need people, support people, to manage, to troubleshoot, to engineer this innovation that's happening. So we have to, as African Americans, as underserved people in the community, be a part of this innovation and this transformation, because there's no like secret that there are biases in the technology, and we need more Black plus people to be at the table having these discussions in the user experience room when they're creating these apps, you know, and that way we know that innovation is going to be more of a positive change for all of us.
Yeah. I love that. And, you know, I saw what you were doing in the Afrotech, you speaking of metaverse, and I loved all the avatars and like the Black creators in that space. That was so fun. And I loved seeing that. So thank you so much for sharing. And when you start creating these apps, you know, feel free to take me, you know, put me in there as one of the side characters, one of the NPCs or something, you know?
I got you, Jordan, for sure.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to take us off track. I guess my next question, I love to ask this because people walk out of here with different unexpected takeaways. My question for you is like, what is your most unexpected takeaway from this experience?
So I think I'm going to say two, right? One was the soft skills, right? So I don't know if anybody on this call is like at Generation right now or is thinking about it, but you're going to be like super excited to learn tech. And you're not going to understand that tech is not always just about tech. It's about so many other factors. And you might feel like this kind of like, oh, I don't really want to do these soft skills. Oh, I know how to communicate, right? But I've been in it long enough now to see that the mindsets that Generation teaches are imperative. Like beyond how you think you're gonna be able to adapt to things or transition, you really have to change how you think about your skill set, how you think about your job, and how you think about the technology and the people around you. So the mindsets are imperative.
Yeah, I agree 100%, especially now in like this new work environment. It's like people really want to know that you're able to like adapt and like grow and you won't like, you know, crumble under pressure. So I was with you, and literally my next question was going to be, if you did mention soft skills, I was going to be like, you know, tell me about them soft skills, and, you know, which ones got you to where you at, because I need to get whatever you got going, you know?
Definitely. Definitely. And then I was also going to say too, Jordan, another unexpected thing was community, right? I came from sales and a lot of other careers, as you can see, and I've never been a part of a community like tech. Tech is so close knit. It's so intimate. Like, and it's really nice because no matter where you work, what company you work for, or what you do, everybody is so involved and so collaborative. And at Generation, they really build on your community and allow you to find other people who are doing exactly what you do and that are hitting walls like you are, challenges like you are, and are able to work through them with you.
Would you say that having a class go through this experience with you really helped you progress and learn more?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think sometimes like the negative thoughts that you can experience when you're going through challenges are exacerbated when you're doing it by yourself. But when you're able to kind of like have a structure, a commitment. So it's like, not like you can't walk away, like come back tomorrow, you know, and we're going to continue pushing through. It's not like you can hit a wall and just stop. You have to get past this. And then you have other people that you can talk to that are making you feel like, wow, we're all going through this together. Like they feel the same way that I do. Yeah.
Honestly, I people who go through the program are my heroes, especially the ones that do the full-time track, because it's a lot of information that's being thrown at learners. And it's hard. It's good. It's good. You're going to take away a lot, but like people like who leave the program understand that it's really, you know, it requires motivation and ambition. So my question to you is, what advice would you give students who are just starting the program
Mhm.
or even considering the program? Like, how should they like get prepared to enter into this?
Yeah, so I would say remember your why, right? You want to make this transition and you should remember it. Write it down somewhere, like make a vision board, create it so when you hit a wall or challenge, you remember why you're doing this. I would say also participate. I think that's like so crucial. Like, well, I don't know if it's an old or new saying, but you know how you say like you're gonna get as much as you give, right? So if you're gonna do this, like give it 100%, because then you're gonna get 100%, if not more, back from the community and the tech that you're involved in. I know it's so easy to like, turn your camera off, don't talk, don't ask questions, sit in the back of the corner, be like a fly on the wall, but come completely out of your comfort zone. Like if you're gonna go all in, go all in, ask questions, be curious. I think that's like the biggest part of tech, right? Like curiosity. I think that's why a lot of us make that transition too. Like,
Yeah,
what is tech? How does it work? What what is it gonna look like for the future? Can I be a part of that?
right,
Like, allow that curiosity to drive you. And I would say have fun, network with people. Like,
right,
like if you're probably transitioning from one thing to the next because you're looking for something that you're more passionate about,
yeah.
that you're excited about. So hold on to it, and just like have fun.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm like, I hope that people have like a fun experience like coming out of this, because it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be. And I think going back to what you were saying is like that's the beautiful thing of learning with the community. We can kind of like bumble, but also like have our fellows pick us up in these
Yeah.
breakout rooms and talk about our highs and our lows, and like we can
Yeah.
also share our accomplishments at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, you were talking about stepping outside of your growth zone and like your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I want to kind of ask you, now that you've gone through the program, what are you most proud of regarding your growth in the past few months? Like, what's the biggest difference between Amber post generation versus pre?
Hmm. That's a good question, Jordan. Okay, so I would say I am a much more persistent person.
Mm,
Even though I was an athlete and I faced a lot of challenges, like different teams and, winning obviously is a challenge.
mm-hmm.
After my athletic career, there were times when I would hit walls and I would kind of like, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to go over there, right? Or
Yeah,
like, maybe this isn't for me, or, I'm embracing the challenge, but if I keep hitting walls, why does this keep happening, right? Old Amber would have just like found a way to go, okay, maybe I need to stop here.
yeah,
New Amber, which is Amber today, embraces those challenges because I know for a fact, I think because tech, I've hit so many walls that I know for a fact every time I hit a wall, it's like not the end of something, it's the beginning of something new. And every time I get through a challenge, I get new aha moments. New, wow. Oh, wow. You can feel yourself entering into like a whole new space. And I know it's because I'm growing as a person, emotionally, spiritually, consciously, but I'm also technically growing, and I'm growing in my career. And that's a good feeling. That's probably the best part of it, is that I'm more persistent. I don't give up.
hey, look, I love that answer, man. That's all. I mean, that's the whole thing, breaking barriers and growing. And I guess that's also, not guess, that is part of like tech, which is you kind of eventually grow comfortable not having all the answers, because you
Hmm.
realize that nobody has all the answers, and that's okay, right?
Yeah. 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 That makes you feel good. Like, what's one of the first things you learn in tech is like when people
Right,
will say, there are no experts. So then it's like, oh, I don't need to strive to be one then. Okay, great.
right, exactly. Progress is it's a lifelong journey.
Yes.
So I have a couple questions about, as you're an alumni, what does it mean to you to be a generation alumni now? Like, what personally, like, how does that make you feel? What significance is that for you?
For me, it's a sense of pride. It's a sense of making it through something that I'm really committed to, and knowing that generations, like the way they support you and the family, you feel like you're part of a family when you leave out. And I still am in communications with the people in my cohort, with my instructors, like, and I feel like I'm going to take them with me everywhere I go, right? If I see an opportunity, I'm always sharing it with somebody. They're always sharing it with me. So I feel a sense of pride to be a part of Generation USA. And I know that because I share it with all of my friends, all of my family. I'm on here with you today. I believe that the mission that Generation USA is a part of is also matches my own personal mission.
Look, I'm going to email you after and probably thank you too, but I'll just say here for everybody too, like, you are such a beacon of light, and like so appreciative of you taking time and just talking to people, because, you know, as a virtual organization, you know, it means a lot to people to see the faces of people who have succeeded and come out of here and are like able to share openly about, you know, what they experienced. So I have a few more questions, and then I'll open it up to Q&A. I just wanted to hear a little bit about, you know, where you are now, and oh, sorry, I was looking at my question on the sheet, make sure I didn't read it wrong. My question is, where are you now, and what are your plans for the future, and where do you see yourself in, you know, a few years?
Yeah, sure. Right now, I am in a Google program that is actually promoting Black Plus professionals to enter into the tech industry. And specifically our cohort, we're like the second cohort that they've done. So it's really exciting to be on the ground floor of this. But it's targeting Google Cloud and cloud computing. So you remember I said, like, IT support, I wanted to kind of get the infrastructure and answer some questions, right? So full circle. I was, even though I wasn't very good at it at first.
No one is.
No one is. I remember them teaching virtualization, and it was like, it was so far from where I could understand, right? Because now I'm learning, at that time in IT support, I was learning physical computer hardware, right?
Yeah.
So when they said virtualization, I was like, what? The computer's disappearing? Like, what's happening, right? And I wanted to know more. It piqued my interest and my curiosity. So now that I'm a part of the Google program, and we're talking about Google Cloud and cloud computing, and how it's really taking the metaverse, virtual reality, all these things are only like able to happen because of the cloud. And so I'm excited to be a part of that and to see where it takes us.
Hey, look, the cloud is the future, because, as you know, everything's going online, and all have to be stored somewhere.
Yep. Exactly.
Awesome. I just have one more question, which is, obviously today is Giving Tuesday. It's a huge day for nonprofits and organizations around the world to gather support and donations. So for the people that are viewing and are joining us, trying to decide which organizations to support this season, as someone who has been through this program, why should they consider donating to Generation?
Let's see. If you want to donate to an organization that cares about its people, if you want to donate to a place that is making a true impact in the community and in diversity and in helping change other people's lives, then I don't know a better place to donate than Generation USA. I mean, this has been a true blessing to me, and I know for a fact it's been a true blessing to so many other people. If you want to see people live a happier, more satisfied life, Generation is doing that. They're helping people move and transition from careers that we picked out of necessity into something that we're passionate about and that is actually better for our families and for ourselves. So I encourage everybody, if you're looking for a place to give for Giving Tuesday, Generation is the place to do it.
Hey, look, because you said it better than I did. You about to take my job. Hold up. That's all Amber got today. It's like, I appreciate you, Amber. That was well said. I really appreciate you so much. Before I give my outro spiel, I want to know if anybody in the audience has a question for Amber. You know, we have alumni here. Drop your questions in the chat about the experience, how to prepare, what it means to go through the program. You know, we'll give a few moments to see if anybody has anything to ask. If not, you know, I could talk all day, Amber. Now, you know, we could talk all day about shooting ball and all that.
Let's do it. Any questions? I'm happy to answer any of them.
All right. Well, as we wait, for those who are curious about Amber's journey, she's always tweeting at Baked Loves to Code on Twitter, my favorite Twitter account. You know, you can catch Amber at our open houses. Amber always is sharing there, and you can also ask questions there. If there are no questions, okay, here we go. What was the timeline from starting to being accepted into the fellow program?
Awesome. So I'm assuming that they're talking about Google.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So it was about May to starting, just about 2 months, actually. So the process was I had to be nominated, and I was nominated by Generation in order for this opportunity, right? And then I got accepted. So the process from nominated to accepted took about 2 months. And what happened, once I was nominated, I was invited to do a 16-hour introductory to coding course. And it involved a lot of learning and challenges. Once I completed that, I had to do an interview with one of the Google employees, and then they accept you into the program. So it was about 2 months.
Incredible. See, that's a short time to be turning around. I love that. I guess you know, we have these placement managers helping, and you know, we're always talking about prepare, placing, and supporting. Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. Well, I'll ask my question, and then I'll ask this other question is,
okay,
with placement, what are some ways in which, you know, Generation helps prepare you for the job search and beyond?
So, and let me just make this clear, right? When you're in the program, they're helping you prepare your resume. You have a career coach that's helping you kind of like figure out what's best for you or how to transition best with your resume and also your skills. But that doesn't stop there, right? So you'll be looking at jobs during the program, but they also help you after the program too. So I still, to this day, even though I'm in the Google program, I still get emails about, you know, we have so-and-so is hiring and they're looking for 15 people to fill this spot, right? Send your resume here. So and I've seen countless others who I went through the program with that have gone off to Verizon apprenticeships and all types of things. So they're not going to just dump you. I think that's the best part.
Yeah.
You feel supported while you're in the program, and you feel supported after the program.
I love the saying, you're alumni for life, you know?
Yes.
Like you always have a home.
Yeah.
I'll bring it back to the other question in the chat. You mentioned how scary of this process was and how you battled self-doubt a lot. What ultimately pushed you to apply for the program?
Besides the fact that it's free, I think that was so I mentioned, right, that I didn't want to go back to school for student loan debt. So, and then 4 years or even 2 years, that's a lot of time commitment. And then let me just say this, I'm not knocking degrees at all, but I didn't learn as much as I thought I should, right? Not real on-the-job training. It was more like theory and, you know, kind of concepts. So when I saw that Generation was free, that was like my major, I need to really look into this. This could be a great opportunity. The second thing was they gave on-the-job training. I wanted to feel confident that whatever time I was committing, that they were going to help me feel confident going into this new position. Like, I didn't want to go in there with theories. I wanted to go in there with practice. And those were the two factors that really helped me make that decision and really commit to it.
Yeah, I was right as you said on the job training. I wrote a note to myself to ask about the on the job training. You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
We for those who don't know, we try and have every curriculum include 70 to 75% hands-on training, so that you get to work with real-world modules, and that you don't walk away with theory, but you walk away with actual experience.
Yeah.
And like you said, the reason why I love the accelerated bootcamp model is because, technology moves fast.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you leave in 3 or 4 years, a lot of the technology might change.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like you're graduating with what you'll need to get into immediately, so.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, because it was a little surprising for me, but just what we talked about, it makes it not surprising. But there were some people in the program that had computer science degrees.
Yeah.
Either they were like they had degrees that were like not outdated, but like they graduated 3 years ago, or they just graduated and were looking for more on the job training and the skills that they needed to really feel confident to go into it. So it's not just those transitioning too that are benefiting from the program. It's also people who actually have the degree and want the practice.
Yeah, and just right back to what you were saying about community, I find it so fascinating when, the classroom has a mix of people from all types of backgrounds and experience and understanding, right?
Yeah.
So thank you to everybody who's joining us. Right now, we're just opening up to a Q&A session with Amber. If you have any questions about her experience, prior, before, during, after, please drop them in the chat. This is the time to do it. We're talking about the impact of Generations programs and how you're able to walk away, with these life-changing experiences. Or, as I said, I will ask Amber about basketball and how I can get myself in a video game.
Right. Did you see my Afro tech? I was like,
I did see that. I did see that. I love that. I said next year I would like to go to a virtual conference and make my avatar. But just just to play games and talk to everybody. Does anybody have any questions? I don't. I want to make sure. Great job. You know what? 100%. As I said, Amber, you coming for all of our jobs because you are an incredible speaker. I swear you're gonna do a speaking tour one day for Generation. It's like,
all right, I received that.
Put you on a tour bus, right?
Right. Oh my gosh. If it means like literally promoting Generation and like helping more people, that's where it's at. That's the passion.
Yeah, I appreciate the passion. It really goes a long way. Afrotech was awesome indeed. Next year I'm gonna be up front row.
Yeah.
All right, well, as I said, I didn't want this to go beyond 35, 45 minutes. We're coming up on the 40-minute mark.
Okay.
So if nobody else has any questions, pausing for questions in the chat. Yes, we all loved hearing your story, Amber. We thank everybody for tuning in. This was our first Generation Giving Tuesday Instagram Live. It won't be our last. We are incredibly fortunate to have been joined by Amber Bacon, aka Bacon Loves to Code on Twitter. Before we close, thank you to each donor who has supported us. Once again, for anyone who's interested in supporting our work and helping our programs remain no cost, please go over to usa.generation.org/Generation Giving Tuesday. You can go on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, find the link to it if you need, or DM us. However you need to get the link, let me know. and we will make it happen. Amber, thank you so much. I hope you have a good day, everybody.
Indeed.
All right, we'll talk soon, okay?
And definitely. Thank you, Jordan. Have a great, happy Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Bye, y'all.
Bye.